Arcadia is a hotbed for supernatural activity. There's a whole other world we know nothing about. Creatures living in shadows. Monsters living amongst us. Whatever they are, someone or something in Arcadia is at the center of this.
Oh my gosh, is this a call? Like a good old troll hunting mission?
Are we really doing this?
I think we are, but I was only half listening and he was talking really fast. I don't really know what we're supposed to be doing.
Our freedom is at hand! It cannot be.
Death will be on every doorstep. Arcadia will turn to ash.
We're gonna have to stop it.
We are stronger together!
Yeah, so fight!
If only I had a portable warhammer. Oh wait, I do. Let's rock this joint.
Daylight is mine to command. Come on.
Buckle up! The amulet made you a troll hunter. You made yourself a hero.
Ugh, arg.
Breakfast burrito.
Welcome everybody to the Animation Station Podcast, episode 110. My name is Josh, and joining me today on a special Trollhunters series episode, I have Mars.
Hello.
And Stella.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about Trollhunters Season 2. So is everybody excited?
Yes. Heck yeah.
Now, I went ahead and rewatched all of Season 2 in order to get prepared for this. What about everybody else?
I watched it all today. Totally.
Now, part of me thinks that's the lie.
Why would you think that?
Because you told us so earlier.
That was off camera. I thought you would keep it a secret. I trusted you.
No, never. All right, so I guess we can kind of go into because we just did last week was our season 1 of Trollhunters. So before we really, dive deep into season 2, where would you guys rank this season as opposed to the other two? So, like, do you think season 1, like, would you, like, of, say, 1, 2, and 3, would you put season 2 number 1, 3 number 2, and, like, 1 number 3? Like, how would you guys rank the seasons in this series?
I'd put it in opposite order, because I think season 3 has been the best one so far, and then number 2, and then number 1.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly,
nice.
Honestly, I have to agree with that. That's what I was going to say, just because, I mean, number 1, like, set the scene, basically, and sort of set where the characters currently are. Number 2 is when it picked up the pace, but number 3 is when it all kind of came to fruition, which is pretty satisfying.
And the animation got way better.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
My thing is, like, I think I go, like, it's really hard. I think I go, like, 2, 1, 3. Only because I've only seen season 3 once. Like, when season 1 came out, I watched season 1. Then when season 2 came out, I watched 1 and 2. Or 1 again. And then when season 3, I did 1 and 2. So I had seen, seasons 1 and 2 multiple times, but I've only watched season 3 once. I think more than likely next week, when I rewatch season 3, it will probably, jump up there. Just because, again, it's I've only seen it the one time, so it's kind of I don't know where it's gonna fall.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what I said earlier is, like, I don't know, like, I watched season 1 and 2 together, so sometimes they bleed a lot together, and of course of the arc jump in season 1 sometimes gets me confused.
Yeah, we talked about that last episode. It's just really weird. It seems like there should be a period of time that passed between, like, what is it, episode 12 and 13.
Yeah.
It seems like a period of time, like weeks have passed.
Mm-hmm.
But
They could've-
in the
they
show,
could've
it's
just
just like
done-
boom, boom.
They could have just done 2 seasons there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like season
should have.
1 should have been we defeat Bular. Season 2 would be okay. Here's
Angarot.
everything with Angarot. Then
Yeah.
this would be season 3. Then season 4 would be the final season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The reason that I chose season 2 to be on this episode is because it's like it's not as, first of all, it's not as long as season 1, but it's season 1 is like setting it up for the story, and then season 2 is the development of the story.
Yeah.
And then season 3 is like you said, when it comes to fruition.
Yeah, and it's also one of those like there's not anything bad in season 2. Season 1, it's just you get to the point like what seeing it for the the third time now.
Yeah.
Watching season 1, I was like, okay, like Bular, he looks cool and he's a cool bad guy, but I'm ready for Angarot. It's like, okay, come on, get to the bad guy, the real bad guy of this season. That's what I want. And then it just seemed like it took a while to get there.
Yeah, it did.
But then when I got there, I was like, oh, Angarot, he's so cool.
Mm-hmm. He was a good
Like-
villain.
You can't have a cooler name than Angarot.
Right?
Like-
It's so cool.
Yeah,
That's raw.
it is. He in general had like a better backstory than Bular and had like a personality.
Yeah, like Bular was cool, but he was very one-dimensional. He was like, got a free dad, and that was his whole entire shtick.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked cool. Like, to me, I think he looks cooler than Gunmar.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those where I'm like, I would, like, if they would have swapped him, like, maybe Gunmar's trying to bring back his son or something, that would have been cooler, because then I would have gotten Ron Perlman
Yeah.
more,
That would've been-
but...
I had mixed feelings about Bular because, like, you have your evil dads and your evil sons, and usually it's a very tense relationship, but, like, what threw me off with Bular was, like, he was legitimately, genuinely trying to get his dad out, and, like, when the gate didn't open and he was calling for his dad, I'm like, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel about this. This is actually kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah,
or like in
definitely.
season 3 when gosh, I forgot his name. The main villain's name.
Gunmar?
The gun bombs?
Yeah, Gunmar. When he first came out and he's like, I forgot there were stars, and I'm like, no one should forget their stars. And I feel bad for him for a second.
Yeah, my problem with Gunmar is it is Clancy. I mean, nothing against Clancy Brown. I love Clancy Brown, but he's. I don't know. Like whenever I hear his voice, I'm like, it's Mr. Krabs. He'll always be so. Even when he's like, and you're like, oh, no, it's just Mr. Krabs with a deeper voice.
That
I
happens
didn't
with
know
me with Zuko.
Krabs, but now I
Yeah,
see the
same. Yeah,
connection.
with Dante, you're just like, yep, I know exactly.
Oh my gosh. Now I have to rewatch the whole show just
Yeah,
remember.
so rewatch season 2 and just think of season 3
Krabs.
and just think, yep, Mr. Krabs is a bad guy, and then there you go, you just get Mr. Krabs.
You know, Gunmar, the thing about him, he doesn't really look like a troll. He looks like an overgrown minotaur.
Huh.
Yeah,
You're right.
and he does go on all fours quite a bit.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, Bular is like, I'm gonna stand on my own 2 feet for most of my time here on Earth.
Yeah.
Can you feel it now, Mr. Gunmar? I'm sorry.
Oh gosh.
All right, okay, you guys ready to just kind of go into this season?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I was
Right.
So, at the end of season 1, we have Jim going alone into the Darklands, and we have that super cool shot of him standing on the precipice, just looking out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really nice shot. I mean, that background looks great.
Yeah, I remember that. What I liked about the beginning of season 2 is that it picked up right where we left off.
Yeah.
which did feel kind of brash at first, but they went right into the story, which I appreciated, that we didn't have to, like, wait any longer to see what happened to him.
Yeah, I will say, like, rewatching it again, I completely forgot that Jim did those cute little cave drawings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, you need to, if you ever quit being the troll hunter, you should just be, you know, like an artist on like Tumblr or something. Because I mean, that's art, bro.
You could earn him. I mean, maybe since he can't get a real job now.
Yeah.
Oh.
He'll just be he'll be that struggling artist.
Yeah.
I love that he gave Claire that little rose in his little drawing, or that little flower, and I'm like, oh.
I totally missed that. I totally. That's adorable.
You know what I was curious about earlier is if he had brought the amulet with him, and he had died there, who would have become the troll hunter? Because I don't think it can travel interdimensionally.
Whoa.
So who would it have like gone to?
Wait. Yes, it teleports. I remember it from season 1.
But I think that if it had to go to someone in the Darklands, I think it would have gone into Mura, because she's the only decent person down there.
Oh,
yeah.
You see Mura as the troll hunter? That would be so cool.
That would be cool.
I adore.
Since she like dual wields, would she have like 2 daylights? Because that would be dope.
Well, no, Jim has 2 knives. Remember?
Oh, yeah, but they need to be like longer.
That's true.
That's what I mean. Like, would they be like swords instead of? By the way, I love his daggers. I wish he would use those more.
I wish he would too. They're so cool. You know what else I really like? His helmet, and I think it was foreshadowing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Like, going back and rewatching this, you're like, yeah, and because like he has like that horn, like his horns are those like exact same horns.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, like they're the ones that kind of sweep back, and the ones on his helmet sweep back. They don't like stick out like a bowl, like most of the other trolls. Like they do that. They do that sweep back, and his troll horns they do that sweep back too.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's really really cool. It's definitely foreshadowing. That's a great point to bring up.
Yeah. Another reason why I really like season 2 was that it was mostly development after Jim got back, because there were a bunch of sort of break episodes, like the Creep Slayerz episode, or the Breakfast Club episode, or when there's multiple Jims.
Oh yeah, it's definitely world buildy for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mars?
I certainly agree. I mean, I like how much. I actually really like how much development, like time they took into the Darklands. It wasn't just this, oh, he's in the Darklands and now he's out. Like it actually like went on for a period of time, and it felt like a period of time. Like clearly, like, and it was given by like the beginning of the season when Toby and Claire were using the glamour mask to cover for him, and they were doing this for weeks, and like that's I don't know, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
because like Jim doesn't come back home until like the end of episode 5, so we're in the Darklands for a good chunk of this. For a quarter of the season, we're in the Darklands. And I really I'm glad it wasn't 2 episodes and we're done. It's like we spent a lot of time there. And
you felt it.
It's really good. Yeah, you felt. Yeah, exactly. Like you felt it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a time skip, like a major time skip. It was like, no, you're gonna go through this with him.
They did skip probably. I think what was about 2 weeks in between the end.
I think they said 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, spending 2 weeks alone in what is essentially solitary confinement, you gotta think about Jim's sanity there.
Yeah, and you do kind of see what it does to Jim. Like Jim's kind of cracky a little bit. Like he's talking to cave people, but same things happen with Blinky. He's kind of cracking a bit too. He's talking to Arg, who is stone.
But that's, your best friend dies, but their body's still there. Are you gonna not talk to it?
Actually, and it doesn't stink.
Yeah, it doesn't stink, unlike Jim.
Claire even makes a mention, like, you haven't had a shower in 2 weeks.
I was really hoping, like, when he came and hugged his mom, I was really hoping she was going to be like, oh, you stink.
Mentioning Jim's sanity, I like, it shows like during the Darklands, but it definitely shows after, like even like with his mom, but not just after his hug with his mom. Like he's just like, "Hello, world." He's like,
okay, but one question: did no one come to his house or visit him at the hospital during 2 weeks when he was supposedly dying of Jim Lake disease?
No, he was in quarantine because it's very contagious, apparently.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, but like, by the way, it's like way to come up with just like Jim Lake disease.
But no one like called his mother from the school.
And here's my other question: like, what did Toby and Claire do with all that money that they raised?
Oh my lord!
Claire wouldn't have been the ones to get it, though. It would have been Jim's mom to get it.
Well, how the heck did she get it? Like,
I don't know.
She's one of the ones that you don't tell.
It's weird.
Because like it kind of breaks apart, which it's not a major storyline.
No, it's
but
not.
It does kind of break apart because she thinks Jim is fine, but then like the school had a whole fundraiser. You would think that they would have contacted Barbara.
Yeah, and been like, "Hey, how do we?" Or maybe they gave it to the hospital and they just thought it was a random donation.
Oh, maybe, and they might not have gotten in contact with her because she's just so busy. They're like, well, we're gonna have it anyway.
That just seems weird, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Another thing I wanted to touch on: what happened with Arg. So I have a theory that the recipe that the Janus Order gave them actually was crap, except for one ingredient, which was Toby's tears.
Well, no, they call for Toby's tears.
They do call for Toby's tears, but when they did the thing, it didn't work until Toby went over and cried on him.
I mean, it's also one of those, like, it could have been
it could have been either.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been one of those, maybe they didn't give enough tears, or maybe it's one of those things where, because not a lot of thing in Trollness is, like, super quick, you know?
That's true.
I'd like to give the Janus Order the benefit of the doubt. Like, I would like to think that not all the changelings are bad.
I mean, we know that they aren't all bad, like Nomura and Strickler.
Yeah.
I love Nomura to death. Like, I love her weapons, and I love, this is where, this is like one of my biggest points for this season, is I just love it when, the characters that were the antagonists come back, and they weren't like, I really, when Draw's father, what's his name? Kanjigar?
Kanjigar, yeah.
Like, he told his son, he's like, listen, like, only Jim can come back through. So when Nomura got out with him, I was like, oh no, she's going to die. And like, or she's going to betray them. And I was like...
And then she didn't, so that kind of left us wondering, why was she not supposed to come through?
Well, you know what I love is, like, Kanjigar basically set up the rules, like, listen, you got to be through this gate at this time. And they broke the rule, and Gunmar got out. It wasn't like it wasn't like a Miraculous Ladybug scene where it was like, oh, her yo-yo fixes everything. No, the status quo just freaking changed.
Yeah,
like, everything.
It's like your job was go in, get out, get Jim, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know Jim, like, the reason Gunmar got out because Jim stayed back to get Nomura.
Yeah.
Like, if they had just gone right then.
That's true.
Then yeah, it would have been fine. But again, that's what makes him the Troll Hunter, is because he doesn't.
Yeah.
By
from Merlin.
And I love him dearly.
The vision he gets from Merlin during that one episode when he has to relive all that stuff. Merlin seems a whole lot nicer then.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, Merlin's
Like,
super nice in
cares
season
about
2, and then
humans.
you get him in season 1, you're like, or season 3, you're like, really, bro?
This guy sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, Nomura is your, like, one of your faves, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry if I totally muscled in there.
Oh,
I have to talk about this.
No, I love her. She's like, that's what I mean. Like, I really love the changelings because I really love those two, and I love her design. And there's that one other, troll that looks the exact same as her. It's that same character design, except she's like all gray.
Yeah, I think I caught a glimpse of her like in the background at one point. I'm like, hey,
she's
that looks
in the
like
background,
Nomura.
and then she's also in a scene with Not Enrique and another. And then she's in another scene with like Not Enrique and another troll when Jim comes in and like saves them from one of those Gum guards. And she's like more like prominent in the scene, and I was like, yeah, it's like the exact same except gray, and I love that. I wish there were more of those type of trolls around. Like, you don't really see a lot of that type or like Strickler's type of troll.
Like morally gray characters?
No, I mean like design wise.
Yeah, they don't usually look like they're stone. Like,
yeah, like they're all like the big guys and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I wish we could get like those little bitty ones, because like I said, like I was saying, like there's another troll that looks almost exactly like Nomura, except she's pure gray.
Changelings don't burn in sunlight,
made of flesh
do they?
instead of stone.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I wish we had more of those. No, I don't. No, changelings don't burn. Do their troll versions burn?
I don't think so, because I remember in the season 3, like Strickler was like standing like without a shirt on while the sun rose, while like Jim was in the shadows.
Right,
I think.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I was like, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh,
I guess they're just like trolls that are made of stone.
Huh. I guess because they're like daywalkers. I guess it's like Blade. They're daywalkers.
So there's like a really weird parallel between Namor and Strickler and between seasons 1 and 2, because Strickler, like, side note, he seems to genuinely care about Jim before he finds out he's the troll hunter, and that's when I was like,
he cares about his students.
Yeah, and I was like,
but he does take a special interest in Jim.
That's true.
And he's like, you should probably, I will call your mother if you can't like stay awake at night or stay awake in class. But I mean, like,
how his like family situation and knew how stressed he was, because he's probably like trying to be a father figure for Jim.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, he kind of won my heart over at that. Like, okay, please give him a redemption arc, please.
Yeah, he does. He does kind of exploit it in season 1. The whole fact that like, I'm dating your mom now, like at the the Touchy Truckathon.
Yeah, that's
he's like, oh, I'm dating your mother now. We're gonna have coffee and we smooched and we blah 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 blah. But yeah, it's like he definitely exploits it. But then at the end of season 1, he's fully conflicted, and like it's one of those like we're just like, I didn't do it for you, I did it for her. So it's definitely up in there when you're like, okay, yeah, he does actually care.
Yeah,
but I like him a lot because he's like he's up until the very end of season 3, he was morally gray and just looking out for himself, which is kind of neat, which I get because, you know, he's sort of caught in the middle like Troll Jim, where he's like, he's not really a full troll because he's quote unquote impure, but he's also not a human, so like that sort of leaves him
in a weird spot. And he even made a comment about it in season 3, like he's like, I've had to deal with the emotions of both troll and human, but never at once. And I was like, that was very interesting to me.
Yeah.
And like, to me, he has like, Jim has a great character arc. However, he is the hero, and he is the hero throughout the whole entire thing. I think Strickler, like, there's two arcs that I really, really like. I really love Strickler's arc. Like, Strickler's arc is probably my favorite, but then I also really like Drawl's.
Drawl's pretty darn
What
neat.
I like about Drawl is his parallel to Steve.
Yes, very much so, yes.
They play like
he is literally the troll version of Steve.
Yeah.
Except smarter.
Cooler. And smarter, yeah. Well, I don't know.
He's a better person.
When they were doing that in season 1, when Jim and Strickler are fighting in the the kitchen with the butter knives, and he's
That's
like,
my
I
favorite
have
scene.
draw, and he's like, does like the 2 stomps, and then like he does it again, and
We
then
have the
Strickler
Hulk.
does it. He's like counting, like, wait, that's like seven steps. Do I go out? Do I stay here? So I'm not 100% sure about super smart, but
Okay, yeah.
I would
But-
put him up there with Steve. Yeah, that's a really good parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the parallel that I was like coming to with Strickland and Namora is like, you know, throughout the entire like story, you know, and with various degrees of sarcasm, Strickler calls Jim Young Atlas and refers to him as a historical character. And what I found really interesting with Namora was that, you know,
She also called him a storybook character, or not a storybook, a play character.
yeah, I forgot the name of the play character,
I
but
think
like
it's,
the
like, Young
fact that they
Gint or
both
something.
drew that.
It's Gint something.
Yeah, Pregint.
Yeah.
Brigant. Yeah, it's because Jim was whistling the song of the Troll King.
Yeah, I love that
And
too.
no,
Like when
it's
she
in the Hall of
tells
the
him
Mountain
the
King.
story, she's like, "Yeah, a young prince goes to fight goes and like meets a troll king who tells." Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh, well, that's the story. That is what Trollhunters is.
Yeah.
This young boy trying to go up against this evil troll king."
Yeah.
And
This is-
it's interesting because I think that's what connects her to him, and especially,
Yeah.
and I think it's seen with Strickler too. Like, oh, he is young Atlas, and it's like, I don't know, like maybe it's a changeling thing, or maybe it's just a character thing where they just sort of connect. That's how they connect with people, is through these stories and historical figures that they may or may not have known at some point.
I would say, like, going back to Namora, I do love that we get something more from her. Like, we get
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
little bit of, you know, backstory with her. And she's like, yeah,
You
I
know-
was like I was like brand new in the human world, and I saw this, and that's what helped me survive.
You know what I would love to see in one of the upcoming shows is like the past of Strickler,
I
because
would
we
love a
see
Strickler
his.
cast.
Didn't
'cause
he
we
mention?
see, that he's super old. We
Yeah,
don't know how old because there's no date. I don't think, or there's like a weird date.
And
He
yeah,
did
like,
say-
babies don't really, those babies like live forever apparently.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's like actually like within
Wait,
like
were all the babies released? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think they got all the babies.
Okay, great. What-
yeah.
I'm just wondering what they're gonna do with all of them.
It's one of
Yeah.
those, like, you can't really give them back to their family because there was that one that was born in 1894.
Yeah,
Her you can't really give away.
I think most of them are older than that. I don't know.
I do commend the story for like that's actually very in in line with the changeling like tale, like the Fae stories. Is,
Yeah.
like the changelings do not age.
Yeah.
No, and I was like, ah ha ha. Well,
You know what? I wonder. There's definitely some goblins that are still alive. I'm just curious if now that it's all out there, if people are gonna hire goblins as babysitters because they look like they're pretty good at it.
Oh yeah, they seem like they're the best babysitters. And like watching that scene when Jim is, you know, fighting all those goblins when he
Yeah.
steals Enrique. Like there's other goblins like jumping and like grabbing the babies and moving them away from the fighting.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my
it's
God.
just a
Like-
really cool like background scene that if you know you're not paying attention you're gonna miss. But it's one of those background scenes that I'm really glad that they included because it helps
make
expand
make the
world.
goblins not so bad.
Yeah, because you're just like,
goblins-
oh yeah, those goblins they actually care about these kids.
Yeah.
They that is their charge, and they want to make sure that nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
and like the babies always seem like rather happy, and I don't know why, but it's just always very comforting to see that. Like, you know, they're
Like, none of them are
like
crying.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
time that any of the babies cry is when Jim steals Enrique, and Enrique kind of starts crying for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the only time that any of the babies cry.
Yeah.
Every other time that everyone's like super happy.
Yeah. You know, another. I wouldn't call it a parallel necessarily. This is kind of off topic, but Jim's transformations, I always think of Sailor Moon. I always think of Sailor Moon.
Well, the only thing is, like, Jim's not, like, naked when he does his transformations.
That's true.
There's no, like, light covering his giblies, so none of that happens.
His giblies.
No,
Yeah.
but just it reminds me of that.
Yeah, I can see it. Like, he does kind of, like, rise above everything, and there is, like, a spinny light.
Yeah.
I actually find his, like, his transformation rather unique, because obviously, like, the amulet, like, it makes specific armor for him, and, like, even, like, later on than just, like, the slow motion ones, like, you can see them, like, pop up, like, emerge and then, like, clasp onto him. Like, I like the idea that they exist in a completely different realm, unlike our own. Just like
it's
chilling.
It's like they all come, like, out of the amulet. So, like, that's I believe if I looked at it correctly, because I tried to do, like, a pause thing, and it looks like all of the pieces come out of the amulet and then surround him and then, like, clasp on.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So it's really cool. It's not something there. It's just like, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very detailed in the way that it, like, transforms, but I haven't, like, ever actually seen anything like that in any other, like, magical girl or superhero thing.
Yeah,
usually it's
magical girl. It just, like, kind of, like, poofs out of, like, what they already are.
Mm-hmm. Or it's not like in Miraculous Ladybug where they're just suddenly in it. Or
they're just merged.
Well, actually, they do.
You take
they
your
both,
fingers
they
and you,
both
like,
say
put them over
catchphrase,
your eyes, and then poof, you have a mask.
Yeah. One thing
that has eyelids.
Yeah. That's so weird. Yeah. One thing I would like to talk about is the episode where Jim has to go to the past because of Uncard the Unfortunate, and he has to relive through all that. And we know it was weeks, maybe even months, that he was in that weird dream trance because we went through all the motions. I'm just wondering, like, if there's any point that he starts to think that the whole Trollhunter thing was just a dream until he goes and sees stuff. I mean,
I didn't know. Like, there's part of me that, like, maybe he's, like, still there, but like, because he's always on the lookout for it.
Yeah,
he wouldn't if he wasn't aware that it was there, then he wouldn't have seen what he saw.
That's true.
Like, it would have just been like, oh, yeah, something. Those pesky raccoons. I love how everybody's like, whenever there's some sort of troll or goblin running amok, it's like, oh, those darn raccoons. It's like Parks and Rec. They just blame everything on the raccoons.
Yeah.
And raccoons are pretty...
Is there just, like, no nightlife in Arcadia? Like, how is... Hardly anyone ever seen
not. That's why, you steal Miss Senor Rule's truck.
Yeah. How do they get all the socks in Troll Market?
The goblin. I think honestly, it's either the gnomes or the goblins, because they're the smallest that can actually reach in and, like, snatch up the socks. I bet it's a black market. I guarantee you, it's like, you got the goods.
There's probably some, like, super kingpin, like, like gnome that's, like, sitting over there just counting all of his. I don't know what gnomes want.
It's Chomsky.
Dolls. They want dolls.
They do want dolls.
Yeah, they want doll lives. By the way, one
Harem.
of the great moments in the season when Troll Zomsky got engaged.
That was. I had so many mixed feelings.
Gnome Zomsky, that's it.
I will say I do like the fact that Blinky's like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable fanning his fantasies anymore. Let's go. I was like, yeah, that's a great call. You should not fan those fantasies. It's weird.
Yeah.
But he seems like to genuinely, like, believe it, and I'm just like...
Well, I mean...
Maybe there aren't any female gnomes. Maybe that's why.
We haven't seen any.
No, yeah, we've not seen any. It's also weird that, like, I don't know who poses her. Because like when in this,
she's moved places.
like Chomsky's like being attacked by those blood goblins, you see her like by the window like with her hands up like no, and you're like, wait, who posed her like that?
Maybe she is alive.
Yeah, maybe like she'll turn out to be like an actual like thing, but like doesn't like to be seen by humans or trolls. Like there are certain like creatures that do not want to be caught moving, like kind of like weeping angels, but less dangerous and lethal. Like, and maybe have like hilarious preferences.
That would be. I support that theory.
I now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, that's actually. That might actually be a thing.
Or what if it's like, I would also like to think that everybody is just messing with him. Like the whole entire time. Like when those blood goblins are going down there, they know, and they're just like, one of them like sneaks over and like arranges her and then like runs away.
You know what I think the creepiest moment in season 2 was? When Jim was talking to that blood goblin in the place, and he's like, oh wait, you can understand me? And it's like, yeah. And it just looks really creepy then.
Yeah, I love that, you know, they give this like little bit of like to the goblins, because so far all they're pretty much good for is Waka Chaka and like giving themselves mustaches.
Yeah,
but then in this one, like,
given I loved that part. I loved it dearly.
It's great.
I like that the goblins are like mobsters.
Oh yeah, they totally are. But I like in it's Creep Slayerz when that one gets the little word association thing and like can communicate with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like that's
like they know,
and
what
it knows
saying.
How to spell. It's like JIM, and then it's L is for
taught
lake,
it
and you're like,
English?
oh snap! It's such a cool little thing, and you're like, oh man, these goblins are actually intelligent. They're not stupid.
You know what I want to know about the Creep Slayerz episode is like if they ever made like what they did about his mom's car.
That's a good question. That's when you're just like, I don't know, Mom. Probably
raccoons.
Raccoons.
Raccoons crashed your car. And she'd believe him.
Oh god. I love Eli. What is it? It's like Elijah Leslie Pepperjack. Love it.
Yeah. That's a great name.
I still adore that episode because I honestly did not see that coming. I was like, oh wow, Steve actually gets a personality.
They were setting it up for something because a few episodes earlier they did the flower baby trope.
Yeah, it's literally that's one episode, and then Creep Slayerz is the next episode.
Yeah,
I love the fact that they did that.
Yeah,
they did a side by side. Like this is what's going on in this episode, but it's gonna bleed into this episode. And here's both of the storylines mashed.
Have you ever seen that anime Durarara?
Yes.
It reminds me of that.
It's very much like that.
It's just like the same plot. It's like the same story, but from different perspectives. I think that's
kind of like a Guy Ritchie movie. So like something like Snatch or Lock, Stock, where there's multiple things going on, but they're all connected, and they're all like just missing each other by like a second.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it when that happens. I really do. I'm just like, no! It stresses me out. Like, they're right there.
But they did, I think they did, like, these two episodes really, really well. I love that Flower Baby one. Sir Isaac Gluten is, like, a great name.
Sir Isaac Gluten.
Petunia.
What was the other one's name?
Ian Jr.?
Because of the flower.
It was something like Dwight E. Eisenhower. I think it was Dwight E. Eisenflower.
Oh my lord!
And I love how Claire's like she's like, is it Darcy tells him, like Amy and that one, they already lost their baby, and she's like, they lost Dwight D. Eisenflower, and she's like, oh man, that's awful. I wish I would have thought of that name. And you're like, yeah, you don't care.
I mean, I get it.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. You're like, oh yeah, that's good.
Better name than
I love at the end of that episode too, where like those are the two episodes where the ending, like the outros, are different from any other episode.
Yeah, and that makes you like keep listening for it.
And then they don't do it again, and you're just like, man, I watched all of the rest of season 2 and all of season 3. all of their credits and nothing happened.
Bamboozled again.
Yeah, it's like, darn it.
The Creep Slayerz ending. Their song was great.
I love that Creep Slayerz song. It's so great.
I was laughing so hard. I was like, I am truly blessed to be upon this earth.
Oh, it's so good. And then like they're like during the credits, they're like, "Oh, maybe we're next." Oh, no, I guess Toby's there. Oh, yeah, it makes sense for Claire to be there. Oh,
Who's
yeah.
that guy?
Girl. Why is she there?
Oh yeah, I like that too. Like the two people's like, are they even in the show? And you're like, oh no, that one down there is not in the show. So you're correct on that.
I love a fourth wall.
Oh yeah, love it.
Fourth wall.
It's like it's just Jim again.
Yeah.
And
Who's that guy?
Like,
he has way too many eyes.
Yeah, and then like on then like every good television show, we get a Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I can't decide if it's like if I like the Flower episode and Creep Slayerz together better than the Breakfast Club episode.
I don't know. I liked it a lot, and we got a lot of character development in that episode.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like we get character development, so that's why
Yeah.
I think it may be a little bit better than those two. But
That's why
I think Creep Slayerz is the better episode.
It
but
is.
I think that if I was gonna like introduce somebody, no, I wouldn't introduce them. That would be weird to introduce them halfway through season 2. That doesn't make any sense to me. Never mind.
Yeah.
Josh, cut that.
Super like,
That makes no sense.
no. I get what you mean though. Like if you wanted to showcase the characters to someone who isn't going to watch the show.
Exactly. Yeah. Like these are your characters. And
Yeah.
like, that's the guy from The Walking Dead, and they'll be like, "What? No, it's not. It is."
That's the guy from Voltron.
It's like he doesn't sound anything like it, but that's him.
Yeah. No.
I think I forgot to mention it on the last season, the last episode that we did. But I really love the 2D art that they do for
like,
all of like the photos
and the pictures
stuff on
and the
TV.
Yeah.
Everything that they do in this show, like I love those. If they were gonna release like a picture book of just all of that art, I would buy that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I saw that.
It's like we gotta
that
get
got to me today when I was watching it. On Claire's phone, she had a picture of Jim, and it was in a totally different art style. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, right. It's like it's so cool, and like all of the photos are like that. In season 1, you see Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon on Jim's laptop, which is weird
I remember
that's on. But
once.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's because he's got the only reason I think it's weird is because he's got a TV in the living room, and then he's got How to Train Your Dragon playing like in his bedroom on a laptop. That doesn't make any sense to me, but semantics. But yeah, like I love that. Like the first time I saw that, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And like I love Jim's little Claire that he has and his little Toby on his phone.
Oh yeah,
for whenever they call. Like I love that art style. It's super cute, and I really dig it. And like I said, if you know, for everyone at DreamWorks that's listening, send me all of those stills. I'll love you forever.
Please. Me too.
Me too. Me too.
You have no idea who I am yet. You will.
You will.
Oh yeah, it's one of those like
I'm setting myself up for disappointment.
We all are. But yeah, like whenever we see stuff like that, like I love the fact that they're not just like, yeah, we're gonna put the same, like all of the pictures and stuff like that. It's the same animation as everything else.
Yeah.
I like that it's different.
Yeah, I enjoy the extra detail. Like it's
Exactly.
the little things
Yeah.
that
One
I
thing
appreciate.
that does annoy me about Trollhunters animation though is that the hair doesn't move.
Yeah, it's not like a lot of DreamWorks stuff. I mean, there are very few times that like when something gets wet,
Yeah.
it'll be wet. There's that part in season 1 where the fairies come and Claire is like getting sucked into that black hole when she's like in the locker. Her hair moves there.
I remember that.
At the end of this season, like Jim's hair is all moving when when Claire's like summoning the portal.
Yeah, that was a really good moment, like
Yeah,
cinematically.
like- But it's weird because like her hair doesn't move too much, but Jim's hair is like all over the place.
Yeah. Let me
It's almost like she was in the eye of the storm.
Yeah, I can see that. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
One thing weird about that portal, though, is it didn't open up a portal. It just transported them somewhere else.
Maybe it opened like a big portal like underneath them, and they all just went.
This wasn't in the shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good moment, though, and I liked when last minute Not Enrique came in and joined. He's like, "I got you, sis."
Well, like all of the trolls joined.
Yeah.
Because like they all like it's you can all see them like touching the troll in front of them, and like they're all like touching like Arg and Toby and Blinky, and so like everyone, it's like a Dragon Ball Z moment where everybody's putting their hands up so Goku can do a spirit bomb. It's like that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that her putting up the staff was like a really defining moment to her character, because like, I mean, Jim's like panicking, but like that was when I like kind of sat back and I was like, okay, she's obviously not normal, because that amount of power,
definitely like a sorceress.
Yeah, like that wasn't just the staff, clearly. Like it was affecting her, but like for me, I'm like, I don't think that staff has that much power on its own.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Well, I mean, it's powered by emotions,
else.
and you're trying to save everyone's life. You're gonna have a lot of emotion.
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Like, I still think that Merlin took an interest in Claire because she actually has like the potential to become a sorceress.
Oh, yeah, I think she definitely is a sorceress. Another thing about Claire is, okay, so at the very end of season 2, when she opens her eyes very creepily in the middle of the night and she goes and sees Morgana, when she sees Morgana, Morgana says to her, "We are bonded for all time." And so that has me wondering if she still has any, like, bonds to Claire, even if she can't control her anymore.
I would assume. Because
I think so.
Because the only reason that Inga-Rot's bond with Jim ended was because he died.
Yeah.
But Morgana never dies.
No.
She just gets sucked into wherever she got sucked into.
Yeah, she's not gone. I'm
think
just
she'll
going to say
become
it right now.
a threat in Wizards, that new show that's coming out.
Yeah.
I think she'll definitely be involved there. I'd like to get some backstory on her.
Yeah, I'm like thirsty for that backstory, because Merlin didn't really explain it, but like Claire saw like images, like, or something. I could have sworn like she saw like when she was connected to Morgana, and this is technically season 3, but like I remember like her like telling everyone else information.
Yeah.
And like I don't think that's over. I think that
No.
that's sort of like we
I
said.
I think that's what we're gonna get a lot of in Wizards.
Yeah.
I think that and if anything, that's what I would love to see in Wizards, and I would love to see something with, you know, maybe somebody getting like Excalibur. Because I mean, we have a lake, because there is a canal that has never full of water. So, what happens if the dam breaks and maybe someone goes and finds Excalibur? Maybe Excalibur has been in Arcadia this entire time. Like,
well, it is called Arcadia.
Either one of the aliens or Toby to get Excalibur.
See, it's one of the I think Toby is fine with his stuff. Like he's got his Warhammer and he's got Arg. I think the aliens are fine by themselves. I'd like if we got a new character. Oh my gosh, give it to Eli. That would be amazing.
Oh, I swear to God, don't raise my hopes like this.
I fully agree with that.
Oh, that would be great if it was Eli.
Eli may be a scaredy cat, but he like sticks to what he believes in.
He'd be like a Neville type character.
He would be.
Oh my God, what if he gets hit?
I see that.
What if he gets hit by puberty like a truck?
He's like bigger than Steve.
Or like taller.
I doubt it, but that would be great.
And Steve is just having a momentary crisis, like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I will say, like, for like when we do the is it 3 Below or 8 Below? The new
3 Below.
3 Below. I would love in 3 Below if we because I mean they've already confirmed that Eli and Steve are going to be in it, and they're going to be in Wizards too.
Yes.
With their characters will be expanded upon. or expounded
I'm
upon. Whatever.
so excited for that because they got like no development in season 3.
Yeah, I know. Like they were hardly ever in it, and like there's
No.
like one episode, and they're like Creep Slayers, and you're like, oh really? You wait till like the last episode to bring the Creep Slayers back. But I mean,
But
there's
he
a
got so
lot of
hyped last
important
season.
stuff going, and they're like not in Arcadia for half the season, so I mean, I guess that kind of
That's
makes
true.
sense.
Oh yeah, they aren't.
But I would love for the two of them to like hang out more.
Yeah.
Like, because like what is it? It's like Blinky is like it's like Blinky, Arg, and Drawl are playing whatever
D&D.
the
D&D.
Trollhunters universe of D&D is. I'd be willing to bet Eli plays it, and I would love to see Steve play it too. Like Steve, oh my gosh, Steve, Toby, Arg, and Eli all playing. That would be amazing.
That would be great, and Steve would be a barbarian. Or maybe a paladin.
So good. He'd probably be a
Steve
paladin.
would not be a
He'd
paladin.
probably be a paladin. He'd
I
be
don't know.
like,
It's
the
there's
hero.
too many
of
cards
the
for him to
ocean."
have to use. Like spells, no, I just want to hit stuff. He'd be he'd be definitely be a barbarian.
Yeah.
Paladins are too noble and like have like self-discipline.
But he might say that of himself, though. But that's great, and I would love to see that.
We haven't talked about one of the main characters that, because I mean we kind of have Clancy Brown's in the first season for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean we have Gunmar. I mean he's just expounded upon in this episode. The Janus Order's been around.
What happened to the Janus Order again?
They all got et.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which, by the way, there's a lot of Gunmar eating people in this. Like, he eats that poor girl, like, right before he sucks out Draw's soul.
What is Gunmar's kill count?
A lot. Like, however many people were in the Janus Order and that one girl.
Did he eat them all?
I would think so. Because, like, at least he ate that one woman, because, like, when Draw, like, confronts him, like, Draw picks up that lady's purse, and then you see Gunmar come up, and he's, like, wiping his mouth, and you're like, oh,
You think it's like...
she didn't make it.
Yeah. You think it's, like, egregious to eat other trolls? 'Cause I feel like...
I don't know, maybe not changelings. Because they're, like, part
Well,
human.
changelings are, like, flesh, so...
Yeah,
I
they're
guess.
like, num num num. You just don't eat,
No.
you just don't eat, them trolls.
No.
yeah,
Maybe too
okay.
Eating rock would be fun anyways.
I don't know why I didn't pick up on that. I didn't pick up on him eating them. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't...
They can't exactly show blood on a PG show.
Yeah, absolutely. But now, like, you know,
Yeah,
when we
it's
went
a
back
TV
to...
Y7 show, and it's like, maybe season 1 was, but seasons 2 and 3, you can bump that up to TV 14.
Well, to be honest, like...
I don't...
like show-wise, like I was thinking of
Like-
The Secret of Nim the other day, and I'm like, that was terrifying for me as a kid. But it was a kids movie, or seen as one. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if-
it's very there's
I'm
a lot of
Listen,
death in Secret of Nim.
saying Trollhunter Season 3 is a kid movie is like saying Grave of the Fireflies is a kid's movie. Not exactly.
No,
I
there's
mean,
kids
there
in
are many
it,
kids
and it
that
is a
watch
movie,
it,
so
but
that's how they can get away with it.
That's true.
But yeah, we meet Dictatious, so we get Blinky's
Yeah,
brother, who
I
we
like
think
that.
has been dead this whole time, and is voiced by Mark Hamill, and you're like, yes,
Which
Mark
is
Hamill,
great.
fantastic.
I started watching the show because I heard Mark Hamill is going to be in it, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
he
I love
was a pleasant
Blinky's
surprise
character
for
arc.
me, because I was like, oh snap, Mark Hamill's in this. Like, and the same thing with because we get Lena Headey as as Morgana, and because I'm not 100% sure it was her in season 1. It doesn't sound like her in season, because
Was
like
Morgana in season 1?
for very very briefly, it's when we
remember
get Anger Rot's like
Oh, right.
1 minute backstory when he's like, hey, Gunmar is attacking my village, I want to protect them, help give me strength, and she's like, okay, and then she takes a soul, but it doesn't sound like Lena Headey at all.
No, it doesn't. I think it's probably a different voice actor.
I want to know more about Anger Rot. because like they kind of retouched it on season 3, like when he changed sides, but I don't actually know why he wanted to fight so much, like why he was in such a desperate situation.
It's because like, he didn't have his soul.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like when he asked the Pale Lady for.
Oh, Gunmar was docking his village.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Duh.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
So, but then, yeah, I guess, and then he's just indebted to Morgana the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still is, I guess.
And still is, yeah.
Because neither of them were dead. Which is kinda...
it's yeah. He does have a very sad existence.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where you're like, he wasn't like that at the beginning. At the beginning, he just wants to protect his people from Gunmar, and now look at what he has become. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
he's just
I kind of wish he'd gotten a redemption arc. He might get one in Wizards.
Maybe if he can come back, I would like to see him, get something.
We do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give the boy a happy ending.
Morgana.
Doesn't he have his soul back? So is he like still indebted to her?
Well, I don't think he ever got his soul back, because in season 1 it just goes flies away.
Yeah.
And he crushes the ring. So I don't think he ever got it back.
He maybe got some of his morality back.
Yeah.
Not his soul.
Yeah. Maybe it's like an angelus angel type thing.
One thing I did like about the flower episode is that we found out how Toby's parents died.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of curious about in season 1. And that sort of gave us a little bit of more development for him. Toby got a lot of development in season 2.
Yeah,
he did.
Season 2 is Toby's season.
It is.
And, because I mean, yeah,
like he and Claire become better friends, and we learn more about him.
He gets a cool nickname. He gets that TP nickname.
TP.
So,
yeah,
which is just a mean nickname. I mean, it's cute for it being Toby Pie, but it's also like, bro, it's toilet paper.
Yeah, I mean, I support it. I support the nickname.
I sometimes Toby got on my nerves, but like him actually fleshing out, because sometimes side characters are extremely hard to pull off well. Like I know a couple of shows where the side character was either jealous of their superhero friend and just not supportive,
that's about him. He's not jealous or anything. He's just like, yo, we tried to help you and you were like, no. And he was only
if anything, he's more heartbroken.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we found it together. We're supposed to do all of this together. Why did you leave?
Wait.
What if Toby had become the Troll Hunter?
Oh, Lord.
No, that would have been awful.
It would have been, but it could have happened.
It could have happened, but yeah. Well, it's one of those things that it probably may never have happened, because Toby didn't want to cut through the canal.
That's true.
It was all Jim.
It was fake.
True.
Something neat that I thought about when Arg was possessed by Kanjigar near the end, when they were rescuing Jim, was when he went in there and he's like, this has existed since the beginning of time, but the amulet hasn't existed since the beginning of time. So I think it's actually just the astral plane.
Yeah, I think it's the astral plane and again, it's one of those, I would love to see us expound more on that. Yeah.
I think we should explore that more in, like, Three Below or Wizards.
Yeah, definitely. Which are you guys looking forward to more, Three Below or Wizards?
Oh God,
Wizards.
Yeah, same. Like, I'm okay. I'm cool with
like
the aliens. Like,
but
that's
they
all
weren't
right.
needed.
But my thing is, I don't like the fact that they used 2 different bits of animation.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because because it's Ari, and I don't remember the other one's name.
I don't remember either.
I actually am looking forward to it. I don't know. I especially like the dude character and his awesome dance moves.
Oh yeah, it's Diego Luna.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sweet, Diego Luna.
I'm excited. I just don't really like the mixing of lores that much. I mean, it's a new, interesting topic, and it's fresh, but...
Well, I would love them to not even have Toby in here. Like, Toby and Arg, I don't think need to be in Three Below.
I don't think they need to be either.
The only two that need to be in Three Below from...
Are the Creep Slayerz.
Yeah, Creep Slayerz.
Are the Creep Slayerz.
And maybe Claire's mom.
Yeah.
Like, because I would love, because she's the mayor now, right?
Yeah, she's the mayor.
I would love for her to be like
Involved?
The ones that are kind of like keeping the two of them almost like under wraps. Like she knows that they're aliens.
Now she knows that there's trolls too.
Yeah, so she knows these things, but it's one of those where it's like she can't let it get out. So she's kind of like helping them to stay. Maybe not in the first season, her helping them, but at least like in the second, or like if they do more like a second and third season of Three Below, her trying to like keep it under wraps and helping them. That's what I would love to see. But yeah, I definitely think that there should be no trolls in this. I mean, maybe the occasional like, you know, gnome in the background or something, but like nothing else. Yeah. Everything else needs to be just them, except for Creep Slayerz.
I mean, obviously Toby will be at the school, but I don't think he'll play a major part in it.
Yeah, like if they see him at school, cool,
whatever.
But I don't think they need to be involved at all.
What I'm curious about, and this is more of a season 3 thing, but I just want to mention it. How are they going to cover up the fact that Claire and Jim are just leaving? Oh wait, I forgot. Everybody knows now.
Yeah.
Also, it's illegal for them to leave. How do Claire's parents feel about that?
Well, she just kind of like they were there. They said their goodbyes.
That's true.
So yeah.
Well, they probably figured by that point that there was no way they could stop her.
Yeah, it's like
I
she's
think in Wizards
too
we're gonna get a lot
powerful
more
for
development
us.
for the characters in this.
Sorry, one more time.
I forgot what I said, but a character that I think might be involved in Three Below is that girl with the glasses from the Breakfast Club episode.
Shannon?
Yeah, that's Shannon. That's her name.
She is the cutest.
I she'll be involved.
I could see her being involved.
She reminds me, like, she kind of resembles like some of the changeling.
Yeah, she does.
She does.
She
resemble
resembles. What if one of them was like a family member?
What if she's a changeling?
I don't think she's a changeling.
I mean, we've never seen a kid changeling. We've seen
other than not Enrique,
and then we've seen like Strickler and Nomura.
But wouldn't she have been at the Janus Order?
Not necessarily.
I honestly,
I'm not sure, because I mean, it like not everyone around the world was at the Janus Order. Because I mean,
true.
They've said that they've infiltrated all of these places throughout the globe, and so I mean, I'm sure there was a good amount, like there was a good chunk of people, because I mean, Janus Order is going to be HQ, but
I think she's definitely related to that one changeling, if not a changeling.
Oh yeah, the main one in the Janus Order, because they look remarkably.
They look very similar.
Well, it's also
even
one
though
of those...
they only have a few like character models that they use for like all the trolls and all the humans.
Exactly, like
could just be that.
There's the museum guard who gets eaten, who looks exactly like the cop, who looks exactly like the delivery man. Yeah. So they all kind of look the same. They have like a little different hair, and maybe one of them's a little bit tanner.
Yeah.
But other than that, like they're all like the same.
Mm-hmm.
I would, now you've kind of got my hopes up, because now I'm like, I don't know, she was just so cute. Like, she's just like, pardon my stereotype. So I just want a nerdy girl with glasses who
me.
who I'm pretty sure kicked butt at some point.
I think she might have been in like the season 3 finale.
Yeah, like I mean, but it's like season 3 finale, like everybody's kicking butt. The teachers are kicking butt.
I really liked the drama teacher because I've had a teacher like that. That was real.
You know what I didn't like that much is the multiple gym episode in season 2.
See, I love the multiple gym episode.
I liked it, but then I didn't because I was like, no, don't do that. That's bad.
The cringe.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, it's definitely cringy, but it's
now that her parents know,
it's really funny.
It is really funny.
And honestly, I enjoyed it.
It just
in the
stresses
sense
me out to watch it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I liked these sides of Jim, like seeing them in their separate, like his, like basically his hero side, this very firm and
I would call it more of his rational side.
Yeah, like, you know, usually those are just for, you know, these kind of episodes are for giggles, but I actually enjoyed seeing these sides of Jim.
Yeah.
And then, like, afterwards, like, thinking, like, okay, this is rational Jim talking. Like, this is his rational side coming out.
Yeah.
I also loved, like, the displaying of vulnerability with, like, his loved one, his happiness, like, the one with the sparkles in his eyes
I
at all
actually
times.
hated that one a lot.
I loved, like, super into it, Commando Jim.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then,
That's
like I love in Emo Jim, where he's just wearing all black. He's like, I hate guacamole. It's hot in here. I don't want to move. My back hurts.
Yeah.
I love, like, that one was great. Like,
I like the scared Jim because it shows, like, how he feels. I don't want to be a child anymore. He's scared Jim in
a lot
and
of...
It shows how he feels on the inside.
It's one of those episodes where they're like, all right, Anton, so I'm going to throw this script down, and I want you to read all of these lines. Have fun with it. And they're just like, go.
Yeah.
That would have been a fun
I feel like
read.
it's probably more of an improvisational episode with, like, the individual lines for each Jim.
Very
It's like,
possible,
hey,
yeah.
have some fun with this one.
I love, and like, going back to, like, Commando Jim, like, I love how he doesn't do, like, the glory of Merlin. It's just like, for the glory, and it just, like, transforms.
No, this one time he just said Merlin and pressed it to his chest.
Oh, does
Merlin.
he? Yeah, I can't remember. It's just
It's
great.
like, whatever.
He's just, like, yelling the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Commando
and then
Jim.
there's Spanish Jim.
Spanish Jim was great.
Spanish Jim is great.
I like
No.
that this is the key part of his personality is Spanish Jim.
And then there's like Cooking Jim.
Yeah. Oh,
just-
you know what I love about Trollhunters? Is that, you know, Jim's dad isn't there. And I liked that they didn't, like, do something dumb, like make Merlin his dad or Strickler his real dad. They didn't, like, go on one of those tropes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just let him...
And we kind of talked about it on our last episode, but I think we all agreed that we love the fact that Jim takes care of his mom so much.
Yeah, no, that's...
I adore
it's
it.
really,
So
really
much.
sweet.
It's really sweet.
And
Yeah.
I like that her mom isn't just generic mom.
No,
She's
she has, like, a personality. She has a character.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I
like
see
that.
her as more than just a mom. I see her as, like, an actual
She's
character.
Barbara. She's a person, other than, like, in other shows, or just, like, mom. And they don't have, like, a name.
Yeah, it's that exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just, and honestly, I really enjoy the interaction between Barbara and Strickler, because Strickler, like, actually sees Barbara as an amazing person, and, like, is like, oh crap, what is this weird feeling? Am I dying?
I like that he wasn't just... I know that he was at first, but I liked that he wasn't just using her to get closer to Jim.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that's how it started, but then
That's how-
it
yeah.
evolves, and you're like, okay, yeah, you actually care about him, or vice versa. And then I guess she starts. Yeah. They kind of make up.
Yeah. I mean, they're back together by the end of the show.
Yeah.
Not in season 2 by the end of the show.
Well, I mean, yeah, I like the fact that he's not in season 2, because I think we would have gotten too much of him. Except like he's in the end, and then he's in the the Janice promotional videos.
Oh, and he's in that episode where Jim goes back in time and
Yeah.
Strickland helps him out when he's trying to skip town.
Yeah,
Which
so,
kind of
yeah,
shows his
that's
character. that he's.
That
It
going
kind of
back,
showed that at the time he only really cared without Barbara. He only cared about himself and was just going to skip town.
Yeah. It's it's definitely really cool.
Yeah, I like the fight between him and Jim in the office when he's like, how do you know all this? And he's just like, I'm from the future or from a different universe. And he's just
I'm
like,
the
no,
Trollhunter.
you're not. You're just a changeling. I don't know. One thing about Walter is I think he's actually like the original changeling or something. Like the oldest changeling. Because that's why he's on the promotional videos and why he's in the Hall of Fame in the Janus Order. And why there's no date on his crib.
Very possible. Very possible. It could also be one of those where he's also like the nicest looking one there. Like, cause no offense, I mean, the rest of the Janus Order, they all are like, you know, kind of stubby people, and then you have Walter Strickler, who's this super tall, like dashing, salt and pepper haired guy, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I would follow that guy.
I mean, I see your point. I agree.
Like, that guy can teach me history. I mean, I would watch. I mean, I would listen to his stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know, the episode with the
kind of in charge, though. I'd also like to get more history on that German guy. German.
Otto? Well, he's dead, so.
Oh, wait, he is dead. You're right. I forgot.
So yeah, what were we saying, Mars?
Oh, I was like thinking about Strickler in the AU. I call it the AU episode because it's like a what if this happened. Like, it's like completely, it doesn't take any time like in the real world, but it's like, you know, it's like the specifics are weird, but like they make sense in that they are weird, which is kind of a paradox in of itself. But anyway, you know, I've seen like other like shows where like it's like, what if this never happened, blah blah blah, and like, but like this one I actually cried because like I don't know, like, because it wasn't just all bad. Like, it wasn't like good and then it was bad. Like, it was, but like there were good times. He enjoyed
himself.
Yeah, like he enjoyed seeing his mom and hanging out with Toby more, and but he didn't get Claire.
He did miss Claire though. Like, there were some hard moments where he's just like, crap, I can't talk to her anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was definitely a small problem.
Yeah, just like, oh, right.
But he can just be just a normal person. But then everything went to crap, and like he was just so desperately trying to be the troll hunter again. Like, saying it over and over, and I just cried at that part because it was just so desperate.
Yeah, he's like, I don't need the suit. I am the troll hunter. And I was like, wow, go do that.
I remember.
Yeah.
I will say that Jim has more emotion this season than both of the, you know, parts in season 1. Like, this season, you can tell like his time in the Darklands changed him, and it changed him for the better. He's way more emotional, and it's really good. It kind of brings more of a depth to his character.
Yeah.
So in that AU episode where, you know, everything's going down, like, he gets to experience all of this, and then knowing what he knows, you know, helps him to actually make that decision of, you know what, I don't need the armor. I'm going to go fight everybody by myself with this stick.
Yeah.
With the stick.
I mean, it was a sword, but compared to Daylight, it was a stick.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Everything is a stick compared to Daylight.
Yeah, it's a great sword. You think maybe Daylight is Excalibur?
Nah.
I mean,
probably not, but it could be.
Yeah, you definitely have a point. I just feel like that would be, like, a loss.
Well, I mean, and if we're doing the whole Lady of the Lake thing, like, his last name is Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dang.
I mean,
didn't know
I wouldn't put it past Guillermo del Toro to be like, yeah, he's Arthur, like, reborn. And I was
about to bring that up. What about Arthur?
Like, what does Excalibur mean? Ben, what does Excalibur mean? Like, if you're... gonna pull it up on.
I honestly don't know.
Well, I'm giving you a
Wait.
task. Pull
There's-
up Excalibur. Does Excalibur mean like daylight or light bringer?
If it does,
If
I
if
will
it
be
does,
so upset.
we've cracked the code.
yeah. I feel like I would have seen a Tumblr post on that or something.
I didn't know that there was a dude, another dude. I was not
Arthur?
aware.
You didn't know about Arthur.
No. I knew about Arthur. I'm talking
Okay, I
about.
was like, you've heard of Merlin, but not Arthur.
I was talking about the random guy that is currently searching up Excalibur.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That
Yeah, I
guy.
didn't know that either.
I
yeah.
was like, oh, there's someone else.
Yeah. Hmm.
Interesting.
I
Interesting.
think Excalibur is just Excalibur as far as I know.
I think it's Latin for something. I could have
I
sworn.
don't
If it's
think
Latin
it's
for
Latin.
daylight, we're just gonna
It
stop the
is?
show now. I mean, if it is,
Oh, I thought you said it
Oh.
was, and I was
Oh,
about
no.
to like,
no.
Does it mean
don't do
anything?
this to me.
I mean, I know it's a weird little character
It
with
might
a
be
big
Irish.
top hat and a cane
Language.
in anime, but that's about it.
That's so later, but yes. And he's like, fool! And he's just
Yeah.
completely insane, and nobody can really handle him, so, like, he never gets used because people are just like, yeah, screw this guy.
Yeah, is that Troy? Is that Troy Baker? Is he?
He might?
I
Let
think
me...
he is. I think he's Excalibur.
Troy Baker is Excalibur. That's what Excalibur means.
Okay. Do we know what Jim Lake Jr.'s middle name is?
Small Lake.
What?
I have no idea.
It's
What if it's
small.
Arthur? Is his middle
Oh my
name?
gosh, if it's Arthur.
Troy Baker is Excalibur.
Yeah, that's right. I thought I remembered.
Have we found out what Excalibur means yet?
It just says definition in Arthurian legend, King Arthur's magic sword. That does not help me.
Dang. Oh well. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be like a legendary weapon that could be in Wizards if it's not daylight.
Another word for Excalibur is Caliburn.
Josh, are you really desperate?
Keep your...
Caliburn?
Caliburn, yeah.
Excalibur ultimately derived from the Welsh Calivish, Middle Cornish Calivasol, which is compounded of Calid, hard, and Bleck, breach. So it's hard breach.
Oh, so it just means hard breach?
I don't know.
Oh, well, that's
Hard-
a boring name for a sword.
Dang.
This is the hard breacher.
It could have been something like
Makes sense in like a literal term for legend.
Goblin Killer.
So, but it's not that.
I don't know.
Yeah, darn.
Well,
That-
now I'm like suspicious. I'm like, because Caliburn is less obvious than Excalibur, so I'm like, there's probably going to be a character with the word Caliburn in their name, and I'm going to be like, haha, I know your secret.
Maybe in Wizards. What I'm wondering is if the Creep Slayers will ever actually learn what the names of the species are that they slay.
I hope not. I hope they're just like, that's a creep.
I hope they name it completely incorrectly.
That
I
would
mean,
be-
they already have. No, but if the Creep Slayers aren't involved in Three Below, I'll be very disappointed because, there's that conspiracy wall in his room with a bunch of stuff. And I think I saw something involving aliens on
Yeah,
there.
he's got the aliens.
Yeah, so he definitely suspects it. And I wouldn't...
You look differently than I, almost as if you're animated differently. Alien!
That would be amazing
Maybe,
if that's
maybe
what they
they're
go
not
with.
animated different. Maybe they're not animated differently, but they're just in disguises that look weird.
That actually might be it. Because, well, the guy that looks less so, but
Because there's
the
no
girl-
trailer for it. It could be animated the same way, but just in a different style because they're aliens.
True.
Because otherwise, how would they have other characters?
Well, it's
from
one of
Trollhunters
those
in
things
it.
where it's just really it kind of like to me it kind of took me out whenever they were on screen because they don't
Yeah.
look like everybody else.
That's because that'd be because they're aliens, though.
Yeah, but but just because they're aliens doesn't mean that their animation has to look different.
That's
like
true.
the trolls are, not humans, but they don't look any different, like animation wise. Like
They're still like kind of boxy.
yeah, they're just their design is different, but their animation style is not.
That's true.
So apparently the aliens in Three Below, like the ones that we saw, crash landed in Arcadia and they're royal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like I think they say that they're a prince and princess.
Yeah.
So I mean they're
Well.
siblings. But yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows what they're gonna do?
I'm still questioning Del Toro's choice to put aliens in with a story about Arthurian legend.
Yeah,
Somewhat about that.
it's weird.
I love Guillermo del Toro too much to really care.
He's a good director, but I'm just questioning the lore mixture. I like it. It's neat and unique, but still.
Like,
It's like sci-fi and fantasy. Can you mix them sometimes? Rarely.
like lore-wise, like it kind of makes sense lore-wise because like aliens are so far removed
It's like
from
ancient
Earth
aliens.
stuff that like I don't know. I think it could coexist if magic is real or was real. I don't want to sound like a lunatic. Then I guess it could be just as possible for there to be other worlds and alien interactions.
Well, what if the magic in Trollhunters is actually just weird alchemic science? Because we get that one scene in season 2 where they show Jim the trolls version of the periodic table, and it's huge. And I think most of their gadgets are based on science anyways.
Oh yeah.
And the amulet might be too. It might just be a weird shrinking and unshrinking device.
That's true.
Which would explain the mixture of lore. Guillermo del Toro is very good at world building, though, so we'll see.
Yeah, maybe he's got something going on.
I hope so.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you were talking about the Eli's conspiracy board.
Mm-hmm.
And there I found a screenshot of it, and like literally it has Arcadia and then it has aliens to the left, trolls in the middle, and then to the right it says wizard.
Yeah, it does say wizard.
And then like a
What?
picture of the alien pair, like with the
Wait,
red
what?
string,
There's a
like
picture of
underneath alien. Like the
Oh.
concept art for the two siblings aliens. There is a photo of them.
That Three Below will be placed like before the events of Trollhunters?
I don't know.
I don't see how, considering
I don't
they're
see
not
how either.
they're not introduced until.
Wait, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, they weren't new. They weren't
Because
new.
it's also one of those to where, I mean, they crash landed, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a backstory for them, because
Yeah.
I mean and they've got to have somebody helping them. That's why I'm like, if it was
Yeah.
like the Nunez's or something like that, because there's
Yeah.
no way that like these two random people who just crash land are able to just automatically enroll in a high school.
That's true. They have
Like-
to have like some.
Yeah,
Weird
something has
benefactor.
to. Yeah, there's got to be something.
I mean, did they say there were exchange students in season 3? Maybe.
Yeah. They said they were exchange students, but it's also one of those where you're like, okay, but that's got to be even more paperwork than just enrolling at a school.
Yeah. Maybe they. I don't know.
So I would love to see like if we got like a government type,
That would be really cool.
because that would be pretty cool. Because then it's just like a really big deep dive Gravity Falls. That's all Arcadia
Yeah.
is. Arcadia is just like a really big Gravity Falls.
That's true.
I mean, they
Well,
do
I
have
guess
gnomes.
the only other show that like has mixed lore like this is Gravity Falls, because they have that alien ship too.
Yeah, they do
at
have
the
an
end.
alien ship.
Yeah. I wonder if that's how they're going to play out the lore, is that it's all just due to aliens. which I could see happening.
That would be interesting.
But then again, that's just Gravity Falls.
Yeah. So who's everybody's like? We'll go around the room. We'll start with. I guess we'll start with. I'll start it off so it gives everybody a little bit more time to think. Think of your top 5 favorite characters.
Oh God.
And they don't have to be in any certain. They don't have to be in any sort of certain order. So it's like your 5 favorite characters. I'm gonna pop up in Strickler, Jim, Claire, Namora, and probably it's a toss up between like Blinky and Drawl.
All right. Same with Walter. I really like Namara too. Toby. Arg. And then and then Claire, I think.
Jim, not even in your top 5. I gotcha.
I mean,
what about you, Mike?
I'm a sucker for side characters.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm gonna change Claire to Eli real quick. I'm gonna change Claire to Eli.
Oh man, I forgot about Eli. Eli's so good.
He's great.
What about you, Mars?
I'm taking this way too seriously. I definitely, one of my favorite characters is Barbara. I really love Claire. I love Jim.
Barbara.
And is this like overall?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I mean, overall, my favorite character is Arg. Arg's great.
Yeah. Okay, good. And of course, Strickler. And I think I'm very split about this character because I hate her, but like she's the Professor Umbridge of this series. Like, and it's Queen Ursula.
Oh god, I hate her so much.
I just respect her so much as a character. I did not see that coming.
Okay.
And so she got me. She got me good.
Okay, we need to end now. We're gonna just go ahead and cut Mars off and end the call with her because I think we're done now.
I didn't say she's my favorite. I just think that her character design was really good.
So, yeah, and like, she is a good baddie. She is a good baddie.
She is.
Because she isn't designed like a baddie. Like that's what, and she didn't act like one at all.
Yeah, she did.
And then all of a sudden it was like boom, and it was like
it was very, like you just think she's just like an awful person, just like
I just think that she's super strange.
And then when she stabs Vindel, you're like, oh snap, oh yeah, this is. I didn't even think she was.
I didn't even think she was mean. She was just strict. But yeah, she's definitely not in my top 5.
Yeah.
I was just like, we didn't talk about her, and I was like, she was actually pretty good. We also
didn't talk about Vindel's death either. That was definitely a tough one.
Yeah,
I'm still kind of in denial.
I'm not to terms with it.
Because poor guy.
I felt like he was going to come back, and then he didn't.
He gets his staff stolen. He has to use this weird little cane thing that keeps getting stuck on everything, and then he gets stabbed.
It was really smart of him to use that crystal, though. I just don't know how he saw it coming. I just didn't know how he saw it coming, though.
I
don't know. I think it was on the desk, and he grabs it while he's getting stabbed. Like after he gets stabbed, he goes to the desk and grabs it. So I think it's one of those where it's like he doesn't have to have it on him at all times, but it's going to record the last minute of his life.
Yeah, I think it was like a crap. I'm dying. I have to leave a message.
Yeah, exactly. It's like grab, and then that's how we got it. Yeah.
Man, I just don't get why she would be on his side. Was she always on his side, or is it? We never really.
I think she may have always been on his side.
She told Arg that she basically gave him and his village to Gunmar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then she drowns?
Yeah. She gets pushed into that acidic liquid.
Yeah.
And then none of her people help her. They're just like,
Yeah.
They're like, wow, you're a bitch.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
just like, no, we're done with you. You stay in there.
Yeah. I mean, that's understandable. Well, it was great to be on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, thanks so much, guys, for coming on.
Oh, is this the end?
I think so, yeah. We've got an hour and a half.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got a lot of good traction out of this one. So, again, thanks so much, guys, for coming on. And let's go ahead and start with Mars. Where can everybody find you social media-wise?
Okay. So you can find me at Moon the Creator, at Tumblr, and DeviantArt. That's where you can find my comic currently. I'm trying to get into the process of getting it on Webtoon.
Nice.
You can find me on Instagram at stella.l.b, stella.l.b. I don't really post much there, but what I do use is my Tumblr, which is Gremlins for Days, and I will spell that out because there's some weird stuff in that.
Oh, we're gonna put the links in the show notes.
Okay, yeah. Gremlins for Days on Tumblr. I don't post anything in particular.
Yeah. Like I said, we're gonna put both of those, everybody's social media handles and everything in the show notes. That way, all you have to do is click on it, and it'll take you right there. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast, on Twitter at Animate Podcast, Facebook and Tumblr, Animation Station Podcast, and you can find all of our episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, anywhere that podcasts are available. You can also go to our website, animationstationpodcast.com, click on the little podcast tab, and you can listen to all the episodes there. If you have any questions or anything like that, have any comments about the show, first off, go to iTunes, subscribe and give us a like and a little review there. That would be great. Or if you don't want to do that, you can always just email us animationstationpodcast@gmail.com. And I usually respond pretty quickly unless things get hectic. But yeah, we're pretty good about responding on those. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for coming on. It was really
a pleasure.
Fun.
Awesome. No problem.
All right, so for the Animation Station Podcast, I'm Josh.
I'm Stella.
I'm Mars.
Creep Slayerz? No. What was
Creep
it?
Slayerz!
Creep Slayerz. We got some creeps to slay.
Yeah.
Yeah.